Friends, believe me, after watching this video, you will never underestimate the power of imagination. Do you know that our brain cannot differentiate between the reality and imagination? You may think that imagination is not real, how it can be reality. But let me tell you, when you recall any past event, you actually start to live that moment. You make your past your present. It's not just superficial case. Actually, when you think about any incidents that happened in the past, the same pattern of firing of neurons takes place in the brain that happened at that moment. Through electrical impulses, same communication between the neurons start and the old connections related to that memory get triggered. Your brain starts to feel everything that it felt at that time in the past. Brain transmits the same signals to the body and body also reacts accordingly. If it was a fearful situation, your heartbeat increases. You start to sweat. Your breathing rate increases and it becomes shallow and so on. So, in other words, you start to live your past in the present moment. Hence, imagination is a powerful tool that we can use to create our own reality. We can fool the brain to live any desired moment now. Our brain is an enormous storage of memories. We categorize some of them as good while some as bad. But now we can use this storage for our benefit. Friends, what I'm going to tell you now is precious knowledge. So please listen carefully. We run after pleasures throughout our lives. But let me tell you a secret. Don't look for anything in the outer world. Everything is inside you. Your brain not only contains the treasure of all the experiences and emotions that you have ever experienced in your lifetime, it is also able to create imaginary experiences and emotions. All that matters is how good you are in visualizing and focusing. As I already said, just by visualization, same pattern of firing of neurons takes place in the brain and your body also reacts accordingly. So your imagination becomes your reality. It is same as what happens in your dreams, where your imagination seems real. You can never tell that it was just your dream until you wake up. Many advanced meditators or yogis can control their senses and detach themselves from the external world. These yogis can focus on the desired imagination in deep meditative state and live that imagination as reality. So they need not to move here and there just to satisfy their senses and spend money and time like we do. They can sit silently at a place and get that experience or emotion easily. That's why they need not to run after worldly pleasures. Some may argue that they cannot manifest what they want in physical world. That is only limited to the mind level. So what's the use of this illusion? But let me tell you, they actually have gone to the next level of manifesting physical things. Let me explain what I mean. Suppose you love to party, so you spend your money and time to get that party experience. But because of some circumstances, you couldn't get that pleasurable experience that you expected. Hence, although you arranged everything to please your senses, you couldn't get the desired experience. But an advanced meditator can get that experience in his mind by releasing the happiness hormones just by his visualization power. All will go perfectly as per his wish, as there is no one to disturb or control his imagination. To explain how actually your imagination can change your reality, let me give you a real life example. Natan Sarensky is an Israeli politician and human rights activist. He was a Jew who lived in communist Russia in 1970s. But for some reason, the Russian government jailed him on the grounds that he was an American spy. Conditions in jail were really very bad. In addition, he spent the harshest jail of them all in Siberia for 400 days. He used to reside in a jail cell that was just 4 feet by 3 feet in size. You can imagine how awful it was. In such circumstances, to keep his body and mind healthy was a big challenge. Natin Serensky was fond of playing chess and was also a good player, so he decided to play chess in his mind to keep himself distracted from such awful jail conditions. But with whom should I play? He thought, as he was alone in the jail cell. Why not play with the world champion of that time, Garry Kasparov? As he neither had the chessboard nor any opponent to play against, he visualized the whole game and the opponent player in his head. He imagined to play from both sides on an imaginary chessboard, all in his mind. Just unbelievable. He used to play chess with the world chess champion Garry Kasparov in his head every day. But the power of visualization doesn't end here. He spent 12 years behind bars. When Bill Clinton took office as President of the United States after 12 years, he appealed to the Russian authorities and they freed him. Natin Serensky moved to Israel and finally became the cabinet minister there. Once the same world champion Garry Kasparov traveled to Israel, so Natin Serensky got the chance to play with him. Surprisingly, he defeated the world champion. Then reporters questioned him, "Sir, how did you defeat the world champion? You are not a grandmaster or anything of the sort." He said, for 12 cross 365 days, I was defeating him every day in my mind. So I had got programmed. To defeat him was the most natural thing for me. Like as you keep typing, it becomes natural for you. Everyone was shocked after hearing this. Friends, this example reveals the incredible power of imagination and what a person can do with his willpower. Imagination is one of the most precious gifts we humans have. Actually, such examples are the real proofs what humans are capable of doing. Let me tell you one more real story, which shows how the power of imagination can do wonders. In 1996, Dr. Blas Lotto conducted a study at the University of Chicago on the power of visualization. In his study, he randomly selected some students and divided them into 3 groups. Then he asked all of them to take a series of basketball free throws practice for 30 days. But there was a difference in their way of practice. The first group was told not to touch the basketball for 30 days, which means no practice of free throws at all. The second group of students was told to practice shooting free throws for half an hour daily for 30 days. The third group too was not allowed to touch the basketball, but they were told to come to the court, close their eyes, and simply visualize hitting every free throw for half an hour daily for the same 30 days duration. Hence, this group practiced free throws in their imagination. When 30 days passed, all the 3 groups were tested for improvement in free throws. The first group of students who did not practice at all showed no improvement, while the second group that practiced every day showed improvement of 24%. Nothing surprising, right? But everyone was surprised after seeing the results of the third group, who practiced in their imagination. They showed 23% improvement in the test, just 1% less than the group that physically practiced daily. That's the power of imagination, which was proved in this experiment by Dr. Breslow. So never underestimate the power of visualization. If done correctly, it can produce effects comparable to reality. There are many other studies and examples that proved the power of imagination, but we will discuss them in some other videos. Friends, this is all for now. If you found the video interesting, then please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.